Calling all C.O.P.S fans, it's crime fighting time. Greetings. Well, I promised in my last video that I was going to do an in-depth look at C.O.P.S, the DVD set of the cartoon series, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. But I'm not going to talk as much about the DVD release as as I'd like to talk about the fact that there's only been one, and because it sold so poorly, there's apparently not going to be any more. Unless the fans out there make it known that there's enough of us out there to warrant releasing the rest of it on DVD. Now, C.O.P.S was an animated series that ran for one season, 66 episodes, not 65 as is normally the norm. They did one more episode than the typical length, which I went into in my previous video. So one season, 66 episodes, animated series, took place in a futuristic city called Empire City, and involved the efforts of these superpowered C.O.P.S with cyborg abilities. Well, some of them had cyborg abilities, versus a group of superpowered villains. So it was kind of a superhero type of show, but with you know, cops and robbers essentially. Really good stuff. It was a lot of fun, and you know, it's got a huge fan following. So I was really surprised to hear that the DVDs didn't do particularly well. Well, those of you out there who haven't heard of the show might want a little peek at it, and those of you who have heard of the show might be looking for a nostalgia trip. So, as I did before with my Voltron review, let's take a look at the opening title sequence, and it'll give you some idea of what the show is all about. And might I add, I always really liked this theme song. I thought it really, you know, got you pumped for some action and adventure. So let's check it out. Without any further ado, it's crime fighting time.
C.O.P.S, Central Organization of Police Specialists. Fighting crime in a future time. Protecting Empire City from Big Boss and his gang of crooks. It's crime fighting time.
So, like, how cool was that? That's awesome. That's a great opening title sequence. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Like 80's cartoons had some of the coolest opening title sequences imaginable. So let's take a quick look at the DVD set here. It comes in a slipcase like this. I didn't put the insert into the slipcase because mine is a little bit bent, just from transit in the mail, I guess, and it gets a bit stuck, and I didn't want to be wrestling with it while I'm trying to show you the contents. So the actual insert here, you've got basically a duplicate of the cover. Nice, you know, nice spine there, and then on the back you've got a look at several of the C.O.P.S themselves, and then inside it's a gatefold setup. So you have breakdowns of what's on each of the 4 discs. It's a 4-disc set. So you have 5 or 6 episodes per disc, which means they were able to keep the bit rate nice and high to keep the picture quality nice and crisp. In watching the collection, I haven't actually noticed any pixelization in the image at all. Now, I'm always pretty forgiving when it comes to 80's cartoons and such, because of course this was still the era when they did everything on film, and animation was done the traditional way with clear plastic cells over top of painted backgrounds, which means inevitably you would end up with dust and debris and such in the image, or scratches on the film or what have you. But I have to say, all things considered, I normally almost expect to see that kind of dirt in the image. But I gotta say, C.O.P.S looks really clean on DVD. Like, you do notice the occasional bit of debris or dust, but for the most part, it's really nice. So then if we go inside, we have a nice, the background is actually a, I'm just gonna rotate these here so you get a little better view. There we go. The background is actually a nice panorama of Empire City. Just straighten that a bit. And then we have several of the C.O.P.S. We've got Long Arm, Bulletproof, Bowser, and Sundown, the guy with the cowboy hat, and Mainframe. So these are four of the C.O.P.S characters. I assume that each subsequent set was going to profile different characters on the discs and such. But anyway, great set. And if you're a fan of the show, you owe it to yourself to pick it up. Now, it was put out by Shout Factory. Now, Shout Factory is a great little company. It's a fairly small company, but it's staffed by really cool people, all of whom are themselves fans of the shows that they put out. So that's why you can be assured that every set you pick up from Shout Factory is going to be nothing short of a labor of love. And a lot of time and effort is put into it, not only to acquire the rights to the material, but to present it on DVD in the best possible picture and sound quality. And not only that, but to give you extras that actually, are somewhat special. Like, for example, with C.O.P.S, you've got the original PSAs. There was, little moral of the story things. Well, not so much moral of the stories, but public service announcements, telling kids to, stay out of dark alleys and don't join gangs and don't smoke and stuff like that. So that was really cool. So they include those as a bonus, so you don't have to sit through them every time you watch the episodes. And then they've got art galleries and stuff like that too. But apparently there was going to be even more, like there's even more material available that would have been included on subsequent sets. Just checking time here. But the thing was, the first set didn't sell particularly well. Now, I've been doing a bit of research over the past few days to kind of find out what happened and what, if anything, could be done to, prompt the release of the rest of the series. And I found out something really interesting. If you go over to the Shout Factory website, there's a forum there where you can chat with a really nice guy by the name of Brian Ward. Now, Brian Ward is an employee of Shout Factory, but he's not just a PR guy. He's actually the guy who acquires the rights and puts together the DVDs of the shows. And Brian himself has said that he would love to do the rest of C.O.P.S, but given the poor sales of the first volume, he doesn't think it's going to be, financially viable. But if we, the fans, can prove him wrong, he would be more than happy to look into it. So, that said, there is a petition, an online petition, and Brian Ward himself has said they will look at the petition. I know most of you are thinking, oh, online petitions, God, those never amount to anything. Well, this is one of those rare cases where it actually could amount to something. And this is why I urge any of you out there who are C.O.P.S fans to head on over to the petition and put your names on it. And if you haven't bought the set already, it is actually still in print. Now, this came out, I believe, in February of 2006, so it's already been out for a little over 2 years. And but it's still in print. You can still get it. If it's not in stock at your local store, ask if they can order it in for you. If you can't get it from a local store, get it through Amazon. Get it through eBay. It's widely available. Now, here's the problem. Shout Factory, as I mentioned, sorry, I just keep checking the time there. I'm a little close to the end of my tape. Shout Factory is a fairly small company, so they don't have the same kind of advertising resources that the bigger companies do. And as a result, another part of my research has uncovered the fact that there's a multitude of C.O.P.S fans out there who would love to have the show on DVD, but didn't even know it was available, even in part. There's actually been a couple of DVDs released. There was one put out a few years ago that just had a few episodes on it. But then Shout Factory put out this collection of the first 22 episodes. So presumably there was going to be 3 volumes of 22 episodes each, because that, 66 divides nicely into 22, so 3 volumes. So Shout Factory relies heavily on word-of-mouth advertising and internet advertising and things like that. Not everybody out there is internet savvy, so they're not going to know these things. And the other problem is that I've encountered is a lot of their stuff doesn't always make it into the local stores. Like a lot of the shows that I recently acquired, such as C.O.P.S, Sonic the Hedgehog, Jason the Wheeled Warriors, Legend of Zelda, those are all Shout Factory releases, and I couldn't find any of them locally. The only ones I ever saw locally were Legend of Zelda and C.O.P.S. When I lived in Calgary. There was an HMV store there that had both of them. And the only reason I can assume they were there is because there was somebody on staff who was fans of 80s cartoons and kept tabs on these things and made sure they were in stock. But generally speaking, they can be a little hard to find unless you're internet savvy. So they are available. You just got to know they're out there. So that's why I'm trying to do, my part to increase awareness about C.O.P.S and see if we can't, prompt Shout Factory to get the rest of it released. So, yeah, so like even in the comments of my previous video, there was countless people saying, oh, I didn't even know C.O.P.S was out. I would totally buy that if I knew it was available. So, this is me telling you, it's available. Buy it. Get on the Shout Factory message boards. Tell them you want to see the rest of the series. Sign the petition. Let them know you want to see the rest of the series released. If you're a C.O.P.S fan, get the DVD set and show your support. That's basically all I wanted to say. So buy the DVD set, sign the petition, hit the Shout Factory message boards. Let's let Shout Factory know that we're out there and we're willing to plunk down our hard-earned cash to get the rest of the series. Because this is one of those cases where the fans actually can make a difference. They have said themselves they will listen to us if there's enough of us out there to warrant the release of the rest of the series. So, come on guys, it's crime fighting time. Let's get on the ball and make it happen. Alright, that's it from me for now. Thanks for watching.